Hey everybody, welcome back to Up to Date. I'm your host, Chelsea Texera, and this week is a super special episode because we have my best friend in the entire world. We've been best friends for 22 years. She is the other mother of my fur babies, my partner in crime, and my bad boy for life. So tune in, and we are so excited to keep you up to date. Everybody, welcome back to Up to Date. This is an extra special episode today because we have my best friend of 22 years, my partner in crime, the other mother to my fur babies, and my bad boy for life. Liz, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, my lady. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited you're here. Ooh, we won't tell them. Nice. We won't tell them what we're drinking till later. It's gonna be a surprise. But so I'm so excited that you're here. She needs no introduction if any of you know me because once again we've been best friends for my entire life since we were 6 years old. But so let's let them in on how we met. It's quite a story.
It is a good story. So. What was this? 98. So we were 6.
She's really good at years. I never remember the years of anything.
98. I feel like because I've had to calculate this for so long. Okay, so second grade, my mom was selling mine and my sister's bunk bed in a Penny Saver magazine. And Chelsea was moving. Your mom was, how many kids? It was
So my mom was dating a guy that had 3 daughters. We were moving from Pleasanton, California to Roseville. And there was, I think it was like it was like a 4-bedroom house, but we definitely needed some more bed space for all the little baby girl boos in the house.
Yeah. So my mom was selling bunk bed. Her mom reached out to my mom. So my mom and my brother delivered the bunk bed. And then our mom started talking about how we had daughters. And then Chelsea's mom she invited us to Halloween party. And then, of course, me and Chelsea showed up as chunky little princesses.
Yes.
And then our sisters were what? They were like
so me and Liz were pleasantly plump princesses, okay?
Chunky.
Let's get it in there.
Chunky
and
monkeys.
I actually lost my very first tooth bobbing for apples at that Halloween party.
I specifically remember bobbing for apples and how disgusting that is now.
It is gross. You know, we wouldn't do it in this day and age. Yikes. Yeah. But you know, what a time to be alive. The good old days.
It was fun. It was great.
It was fun. But so yeah, our sisters, me and Liz were always the girly girls. And our sisters, Sarah, my stepsister, she was a little sharks player, and I think your sister was a karate kid or something. Or
they were something more sporty. They definitely weren't princesses like us.
Exactly. So, but then that was history. So we became friends. Which good call on my mom's end for throwing a little party and inviting the neighborhood kids because other than that, probably wouldn't have had any neighborhood friends to play with.
Or anyone to roll you on your backpack that you didn't want to walk to school.
That's right. Yeah, Liz and I were notorious. We lived I lived a couple blocks
like a 10-minute walk to school.
Not even far, but we would take turns hopping on each other's rollies.
Rolly backpacks. If you didn't know, we would basically give each other rides on our rolling backpacks because we were too lazy to walk.
Trying to catch us riding dirty.
Oh my God.
Never
Those
did.
Good times. It feels like so long ago.
It really does. Yeah. So we since then, so 22 years of friendship, we went through elementary school, middle school, high school together, and then we actually moved down to San Diego together. So us and 2 other girlfriends, we one day said, let's just do it. We drove down here for a weekend of fun, and we actually signed a lease on a whim for 6 months later, and all moved down to San Diego. We lived by San Diego State and eventually went to San Diego State together. So Liz and I have lived the majority of our adolescent and adult lives together as one.
I think that's how we graduated. It was taking all the same classes and doing half the work.
So life hack, take all your classes with your friend and buy one textbook, take online classes, do all the tests together.
Yeah.
Or have somebody
Don't write your Spanish homework together. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
America? Was that her name?
Oh yeah, we had a Spanish class together and we did our homework together and somebody caught on.
She was like, this is word for word the same exact paper.
Yo no sé. Yo no sé. But anyways, so we go super far back. Lived together for I think a total of 7 years. And then this last year, my baby bird left the nest and she moved up to LBC. Shout out to Long Beach. And so that's what she's doing now. Want to give us a little insight to your Long Beach life?
Yeah, I mean, I miss San Diego. I definitely do. But I love Long Beach. It's diverse and by the beach. And I work at, I'm a manager at a UFC gym in La Mirada. So it's not right next to Long Beach. But I am happy that I still have a job during these crazy times. So no complaints. I love it up there. But I do miss my main B in San Diego.
Me. But yeah, so I'm glad, like we all need to let our wings spread and fly. So I do go visit all the time. One of our other best friends lives up there as well, Kara. And so Milas and Kara actually just got back from a London trip together, which was amazing. And so another great thing about Alyssa and I is that we have traveled all over the world together. Besides one of my other girlfriends, we have been to the most lands and sands together.
A lot of places, yes.
We have.
Many more to come.
Many, many more to come. So I always start off, Liz knows because she's my number one fan, but with what my guest top 3 favorite places are. And so Liz, let's let you take it away.
Okay, top 3. Australia, Barcelona, and Greece, which 2 of the 3 you got to join in on the party.
Sure did.
So Australia was really fun. That was a family trip. That was like my first big, I think, out of the country trip. I went to the Bahamas before that, which is like, that's cool, but it's close.
Did you guys go on a cruise or?
To the Bahamas?
Yeah.
No, we flew there. We flew to Disney World and then Bahamas. So Australia was great. That was a long ass flight, 16 hours nonstop. So the travel tip of the day for that is if you have a nonstop flight, make sure you bring lots of snacks, lots of activities, because it's a long road ahead of you.
And walk around. Like for me.
Yeah, that was the hardest part.
When we flew so Alyssa and I also went to Amsterdam. We did our first Europe trip together. And I remember when we were flying home, I started to swell, I feel like. And that's never happened because you need to walk around. It happens to me every time. My ankles. I know, you have that problem. But I was like, I know. Stay hydrated, walk around. Because sitting for 16 hours is not good for anybody. No.
Bring some melatonin or something stronger if you have it.
I can always sleep on planes, though.
I can't. I need to be knock me out for as long as I can go. Because then you wake up and you still have 10 more hours. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get as many movies as I can in.
After a while, my brain is like, I'm over it.
I like 3 and then maybe a nap.
Yeah. But they're not good naps. I always wake up after probably like 5 naps thinking like that wasn't good sleep.
Depends if you're window or aisle. Or if you're with your friends.
That's true. If you're next to people that you don't know, then that's unfortunate.
Well, we know that's not a problem for me. On our on our way to Berlin, so we flew
on the bus.
Yeah. So Liz and I, we flew on our Europe trip. We flew into Amsterdam, spent a few days there, and then from Amsterdam we took a bus to Berlin, and it was the funniest thing ever. So that
was the worst bus ride ever.
Well, we almost missed it. So we almost missed it.
Yeah.
Because speaking like. What do speaking Dutch is not anywhere near any kind of language I've ever heard. So we're trying to tell our driver, hey, we need to get to this bus station. We get there and we're running. And so luckily we made it, but we had to throw all of our stuff under this bus. But we were so late that by the time we got there, all the seats were pretty much filled up. But there was 4 of us at this point because our other girlfriend Kylie met us in Berlin, but there was only aisle seats left. So literally like 4 in a row, people were in the window seat and there's 4 aisle seats. So one of us went up and asked, I forget who, asked one of the person, hey, would you mind switching a seat with us so we could sit next to each other?
So, nope.
No. He said no. So we're like, okay. So and this bus was supposed to have a bathroom and Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Had neither.
Neither.
So we sit down on this bus and Riss, luckily, or she sat next to somebody that she made friends with. I sat next to this sweet young Asian man, and literally the girls have pictures and videos of me knocked out on this kid's shoulder, and
he just accepted it.
Yeah, accepted it. That's sweet. I was like, he knew I needed to catch some.
That was nice of him. That was the smelliest bus ride I've ever endured.
And then there was a family on the other side of us that was playing the butt trumpet the whole and laughing. Just
the big one was at the very end, and it was like, this is so disgusting. But after a 9-hour, did you not hear it? Because I heard it.
I just said the butt trumpet.
But it was one big loud one. Like it was silent the whole time. Like we're at probably hour 8.5, like almost there. And yes, it was dad or uncle just Uncle Daddy lets it rip. And they just bust up laughing. And as if it already didn't smell awful enough as it was. That
And
just
then
really
we were
was
laughing
icing
and
on
had
cake.
and our mouths open.
Everyone was
so-
laughing, but just like uncomfortably laughing. Like, please get me off of here.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna
don't
suffocate.
So 0 out of 10 do not recommend taking a bus.
What was it called? Flixbus?
Flixbus.
Yes, yeah.
There you go. So sorry, Flix. No.
Make sure that there is in fact a bathroom and Wi-Fi, because I don't know how they expected.
But
we had one stop.
We had one stop, but still, like,
But if I was eating and drinking on that flight, I slept over that plane.
bus, plane, train,
bus.
yeah, the
Whatever
bus.
it was. If I was awake, I would have had to go to the bathroom. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, no. So
right in the seat.
it's what?
Go right in the seat.
Whoa, maybe not.
You gotta do what you gotta do. What would you do if you're about to pee your pants?
Probably. You know what?
Go.
I wasn't prepared for this question.
I know.
But I think that I've never peed my pants yet to this day as an adult, so probably figured it out.
It could have been your first time.
Maybe if someone had an empty cup of soup. I mean,
Yeah, it would have been in a cup, but someone was gonna see it, hear it, smell it.
moving on.
It didn't happen.
Didn't happen. So okay. So anyway, then we transitioned to that, but we were talking about Australia. So
Oh yeah.
okay, yeah. So what did you do with your family there?
Australia was fun. It was different because it was like America but with accents, and there's nothing better than an Australian accent. What's my favorite line?
5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7, 8. That's all I know.
That's the only. Liz is not my accent girl. She's
what?
You
No,
okay. She's not
Russian. Come on, we got our Russian
okay.
one down very well.
We do the Russian very well. But
Okay.
but Liz has one key phrase. It's 5, 6, 7, 8. So
For everything. Okay,
But
I
we-
need to practice.
we did have one night that everyone else must have been really drunk too. But Liz and I went out in PB. This is when we were a lot younger. Do you remember this?
Do
Our
tell.
Australian accent night.
Oh yeah,
And I got a
Listen,
marriage
from Brisbane.
proposal. Yeah.
Brisbane.
What's that from Brisbane? Everywhere we went, we just talked in Australian accents, and I had somebody get down on one knee and was like, "I want to marry you," and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Gotta go." But it
Yeah.
was really fun. I'm glad that we did that.
American
once in
bye.
a- Yeah, American. Gotta go, mate. You bloke. But okay, so Australia.
So
Go.
accent, sorry, off topic. The accents was interesting. It was cool because we went to Melbourne. We went to Melbourne, which was more like the city. That in Sydney felt like San Francisco or New York.
Oh.
So that was interesting. It felt very normal. The beaches were really pretty, but then we went to Cairns. That's where the Great Barrier Reef is. And so we went swimming there. We took like a boat, little excursion out there and swam in the Great Barrier Reef. That was really cool. Saw some turtles. Lots of sea life. I heard the Great Barrier Reef is going
It's dying.
down under.
It is going down.
That's
under.
my only other line I can do too.
Did you see any kangaroos?
Yes, that was like my next top thing was that I got to pet a kangaroo.
Whoa,
Photo evidence, so.
man! And you didn't try to knock your lights out or anything?
No, they didn't. No. I don't know where those kangaroos are. You've seen the videos? Those scary ones?
I just rewatched Kangaroo Jack, so I'm like,
No, there's a video surfacing on the internet of like this big ass kangaroo.
oh, they're jacked.
Like, yes. Who is that? Where'd it come from?
Jumping Jack Flash.
Someone
Kangaroo Jack.
someone injected it with something. It's
There's
roided
They
out.
have nothing else to do all
When
day.
it was
They're-
like kicking like at someone's window, who lives in that environment where that above average kangaroo is?
I don't know, but one of the girls on the show, she ran over one. And it was but they're like,
Okay.
there's so many of them, I guess, right?
Well, how do you run one over?
It was dark, and she was driving in the freaking outback.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's sad. Poor
Yeah.
guy. A little one? It couldn't be a big one.
Who
like that.
knows? I
Probably
don't
would
know.
have picked her up and
I know,
threw her
right?
car out of the way.
So sad. I'm glad that didn't happen to you.
Yeah, no, these guys were little. They were cute. There were some other exotic animals as well.
Koalas?
I guess I did hold a koala in a sanctuary,
Okay.
so it was warranted there.
Was
But
it
the
like a
kangaroo,
baby?
I think he was an old guy. He
Oh.
was cute. He kind of just reminded me of Rick.
Oh.
Rick is our cat.
Rick is our kitty. So yeah, we have 2 cats, Ricky and Charlie, and they're both adorable, but Ricky is the fattest, sweetest fucker ever. And I say that with
Indeed.
love, but he is a little bitch sometimes.
He is, but
Feisty.
he gets what he wants.
Feisty and furry.
Everybody likes him though. People who don't like cats, everyone who comes and meets him, they're like, I don't like cats, but I like Ricky.
He's the definition of a Sour Patch Kid.
Oh yeah,
Salty and then
tripping
sweet.
you,
Oh yeah, he loves to trip us, but then
headbutting you.
headbutting you is not like he wants to love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just wants some love.
Exactly.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, and then our other cat likes to wrap herself around your chest like a scarf, or just put her butthole in your face.
She's overbearing. Butt in your face or nothing.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
she's like, "Rrr." like aroused.
But we know they love us, and that's all that
They do.
matters.
They do. We saved them.
We did. Saved them
good.
from is it SPCA up here?
No, it was the
San Diego Humane Society.
Yes, Humane Society.
There we go. Yeah. So
right.
definitely
times.
adopt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so Australia.
Yes.
So those are my
All right. Anything else about Australia?
Was fun. It was my first excursion out of the U.S. It was a good one. But the next one, I should swallow that real quick. Okay. The next one is Barcelona, which you got to join on the fun.
So
and 3 other friends.
So so Barcelona. So after Berlin, we had gone to Oktoberfest. Which I had more fun than Liz.
I know, I hate beer.
Liz hates beer. I was on tables like with steins, and me and my one girlfriend, Courtney, she had her little drindle on. So is that what it's called? I think so.
I don't know.
It's the actual like traditional get up, and the rest of us, we just showed up. We're like,
regular
we're ready
clothes.
to rock. But yeah, me and Courtney,
I got a souvenir T-shirt.
I'm sad I didn't get a souvenir T-shirt. All I got was a souvenir hangover.
I love it. Still wear it to this day.
Yeah, no
souvenir hangover. Yeah, you did.
Hangover.
Yes, you did.
But it was so much fun. So yeah, we did Oktoberfest for only a day. We went so many places on our Europe trip. It was amazing. But so then we went from Oktoberfest in Munich to Paris. So we took a train there. So way more recommended than a bus. The trains are amazing.
Nice.
They're nice. They're spacious. They have hot food on there. You got to see all of the German countryside. And it was quick. It was they go, don't even quote me, but like 300 something miles an hour.
Fast, yeah.
Very fast. Got there quick. Went to Paris, and then so we have a story about Paris too.
Take it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I've mentioned a few times that like the most scared I've actually ever felt on any of my trips was when I was with all my girlfriends, because we straight almost needed to call Liam Neeson. It was
seriously.
Yeah, it was crazy. So we after we got off the train in from Germany to Paris, we get out, and all the only a couple of us had gotten phone service.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to call an Uber, but we couldn't get one. There wasn't any around. And so one tip, definitely make sure you check where you're going beforehand, because they not only bamboozled us out of our money, which that's the least of my worries since we're all alive and here today, but this unmarked van came, and basically he was like, and I learned this lesson after, always make sure you look to see if it has a taxi medallion, or they have some sort of papers that say, hey, I'm a taxi, hey, I'm legitimate. So this little haunted mansion looking dude, remember him? Comes out
with the piercing blue eyes, which is what really killed it for me.
So yeah, this guy was just like something out of a horror movie, honestly. Piercing blue eyes, little Frenchman, maybe French, who knows. But then this Tony Soprano looking like cab pimp comes out,
standing outside of the van. Yeah, suspiciously.
Comes over to us and is like, "Oh, do you guys need a ride?" And I showed him where we were going, and they say something to each other, and they start loading our stuff up in the car. And we were just tired and happy once again. Hungover here, and I know at least a couple of my other friends were too. We were just happy to be getting to where we were going. But as soon as they load us up in the car, me and one of my girlfriends, Courtney, were in the very back, and I think Kylie was with us at this point, but you guys are up in the middle, and Marissa started talking to him, or they were talking, he was asking her, and he asked for her phone number or something like that, and was like, oh, if you guys need another ride, blah, blah, blah. But then all of a sudden, my spidey senses started tingling. I started looking around, and I said to Courtney, I'm like, Courtney, there is nothing that is marked on this vehicle. Nothing at all.
That just avalanched it.
And Courtney goes, I'm sorry. And I said, shut up. I was like, because I'm don't that. I literally could have pictured him just hitting the gas and taking us through the freaking woods. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm just remain calm. So, but it was seriously scary. At that point, once we realized, so always be aware of your surroundings. That one instance, really put drilled it into my brain for my solo trips, that I am always going to be aware of where I'm going, how far it is, because so they said it was $100 to take us there. We had no idea where we were going. He drove us for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was not.
We
far.
show up so luckily we got to the place, thank God. But that would have been quite a human trafficking jackpot if they did get all of us. So I was like, wow,
they would have got karate chopped real quick.
Well, I know, but I also was like, it could have gone the wrong way. So
well, what made it worse was Courtney. So she was freaking out, saying, we got to get out. We have to get out of here. This is all bad. And then I think I was sitting in a regular front-facing seat, so I am making eye contact with him through the rearview mirror, and his piercing blue eyes are looking at me, and I'm looking at him like,
Did he give you the
he
brows?
can hear.
Like,
Well, I'm thinking like
I
he can
want
hear
you.
everything. So like, Courtney, shut the hell up right now, because you're gonna if we're getting killed, it's now. It's because
Yeah.
you know.
yeah, I always remember like I watched Oprah with my Nana growing up all the time, and there was like kidnapping episodes, and they say never let them take you to the second location. So I was fully ready to stop, drop, and roll, but but I'm glad that didn't have to happen. So,
Yeah.
but we pull up to the place, and luckily the place that Marissa had booked for us, it had this like crazy
Big door.
with
Yeah.
like a gate, like a metal gate in front of it.
They
And
hung
he's
out
like,
for a little bit though.
yeah, he's like,
I
do you
remember
guys
that.
need help going up? And we're like, no.
Not a chance.
So and
We
then-
could have used help because those stairs.
I know. It was the craziest, windiest staircase ever. So also take note of that when you book a room in Paris, if it's Airbnb. So it's Airbnb, so there was no elevator. Like we all carried our super heavy bags.
And they're
up.
old buildings.
Yeah,
So they
it
probably
was
don't
like,
have an elevator.
like the view was beautiful and stuff, but it was musty. It was very like a moist, like wood kind of smell. The rest of our Paris trip was amazing,
Musty
but
and
it was
moist.
musty and moist.
Yeah.
But it was a traumatic beginning. But yeah, we saw from the top window, like they were waiting outside for a while. And that was also a Taken moment. Cause you know, like
Yeah.
in Taken where
They know exactly
they
where
know
we
exactly
are.
where they stay. And even though they were at the like penthouse top floor, they still came and got them. So we were like, we were ready.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, yeah. So that was the
a good
story.
tip.
So that was Paris. And then from Paris we went to Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
So your next fave. So
Barcelona was like the architecture was so beautiful there. I feel like that was we did a lot of sightseeing in Amsterdam too.
mhm.
But there was just like beautiful buildings there. I feel like we had sangria every day, sangria and paella. That shit was bomb. It was
Lissa's not a huge
paella-yum,
paella
baby.
yum.
Paella-yum.
But Lissa's not a huge wine girl, but sangria is
No.
like, how can you not like sangria?
Sangria is good. It's fruity. Yeah, I need to acquire the wine taste. But
Right.
sangria, I have it. I'm keeping it. It was great. And where did we go? We went to okay, so travel tip of Barcelona. Okay, we went to La Sagrada Familia, which is a famous church there. If you are going, make sure you are your shoulders are covered and you're wearing appropriate clothing.
Make sure your tits are covered is what Liz wants to say for this story because hers were out to play. And the preachers were not having
Free
that.
the nip. Yeah. Okay. I had a, what is it? What is
So-
it? I had a bodysuit on.
It was like low cut, but it had like a crisscross. But it was
hot that day. So I was trying to cool down, man. And they did not tell us beforehand. I honestly didn't think about it. I didn't think too much about it because it's
any
it's
holy
kinda touristy.
holy place. Yeah, but so like
Now
in
we know.
hindsight, yeah. Now we know. In hindsight,
Cover your
like
nipples.
well, Alyssa's nipples weren't out, but almost. And
Cover your shoulders.
Cover your shoulders, but no. So she was a spaghetti shop. So we get to the front of the building, and basically they said, and we had like a preset time because you have to book because it's the biggest, arguably one of the biggest attractions in Barcelona. And so we get there, and he said, no, she can't come in. And
I was so mad.
she was so mad. I was trying to hide my giggles, but it was low-key hilarious. And then we had to go all the way back home to our hostel. So that's worth noting too. So so each of us picked for all of our destinations, one of us picked the place and kind of planned that. And then so I picked the hostel as the very first hostel I think most of us had stayed at, maybe not a couple of the other girls.
Yeah,
but it was a really great experience. It was beautiful. It was called St. Jordi Hostel.
Yeah.
In Barcelona. There was great people at the front. One thing I do like about hostels too is there's always somebody in the front. You can't get in unless you have a wristband, that kind of thing. But so yeah, we came back in, got Alyssa a jacket to cover her racket. And then we went inside and got to explore.
And it was a beautiful experience after that.
It was beautiful.
It was nice.
Yeah. And then after we went and got some tapas, we had papas bravas.
Tapas were great. They had
Yes.
so many different kinds.
Yeah.
I could just eat that. I would go back to Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Barcelona, I would go back in a heartbeat because it just was beautiful there. You're right by the beach. And again, the buildings are just immaculate. You don't see that anywhere else.
They also
You don't see it in America.
no, definitely not. And then Gaudi, so he's the
Looking like
architect.
Dr. Seuss up in here.
But so he had all the buildings, all of the architecture, a lot of that is inspired by him or it's his work. And then we also went to what was the market called? Do you remember? Where we got
La Boqueria? Is that it?
the
Or
Boqueria.
no?
I think there's maybe
It has like an actual name though, right?
Yeah, so we
I
went.
don't remember the name.
They have this beautiful market. So we went there every day almost and got like fresh fruit juices or empanadas, chocolate covered
mango,
strawberry,
yeah.
dried mangoes, chocolates.
Yeah, the juices were good.
Yeah, it was really fun. And then one of my favorite things that we did, we walked over and they have all these beautiful restaurants by the beach. And that's where we had our paella and tons of sangria. So we did go out in Barcelona. So went to, and I'm sure you've heard like Barcelona, they do siestas and things like that because they don't go out till later. That is such a fact. So we went out at like 11 and it was still too early.
Yeah. Well, we went to, I don't remember what the name was. Do you remember that bar?
We went to this bar, and it basically they have a ton of different shots. They have flaming shots and crazy names like Harry Potter, flaming nipples, and wild things.
Some weird stuff.
But so we did that for our first stop, and it was really fun. Then after we went to a club, but we didn't get there till like 1, and it was kind of perfect because clubs there don't close till like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
We had a great time, but we went onto the dance floor, and I'll never forget a guy like pulled my hair. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, we get
but
on
not okay. Not okay.
Look, okay, it reminded me of year 1 when he's like, just give her a little tap, like, you know, like trying to do the mating dance. And I'm like, no, do not pull my hair. So this guy pulled my hair and I turned around. I was so pissed. And you guys were like, let's go. So we all like went outside and got me away from conflict. And then we met some awesome guys from Chicago that we all are still friends with on Instagram and stuff. So that was really fun. But yeah, it was just like a great adventure. Barcelona was beautiful.
It was. But yeah, I would, to touch back on the siestas, is when Barcelona goes to take a nap, your ass better take a nap too. Because they don't go out early. I feel like the dance floor was like popping at 4 a.m. And that was still, we had already been there for a couple hours. So get ample sleep and rest.
When we pulled up, there was a girl throwing up outside.
Oh, I remember that.
So don't be that girl.
Mess.
Drink water in between your flaming shots.
I know. She didn't. It was her first night, probably.
Probably was.
Drinking in her life.
Maybe.
Let's have to assume.
Let's hope.
I know.
Her 21st, or in Europe, maybe her 18th.
Could be her 18th, yeah.
Maybe that.
It was fun though. They like going out in other countries is fun because they go out later and they stay open later. Yeah. Here, you know, you get drunk for 2 hours.
Oh,
you gotta go because it's not appropriate to get out to a club or a bar before 11.
I know. In California, we do close so early, like 1:30. They're like last call, turn on the lights.
Yeah.
And then you gotta go.
Yeah.
So, and also one thing I just remember that we did that I loved is we shopped a lot in Barcelona.
Yeah, we did. They had that whole, was that by the market?
Yeah.
If I can remember.
So it's like a promenade and like all these things. And yeah, so I remember I got a lot of clothes that I still wear. They have Bershka, Pull and Bear.
Is one of them called Mango?
Mango.
Yeah.
They have a ton of great like higher end than like Forever 21. They did have really nice big Forever 21s and stuff there too. But yeah, really great shopping.
Yeah. It's nice to get something different that not everyone else is gonna have.
Yeah, and so any tips or main points from
Barcelona? I don't think I have any main tips for that one. Honestly, I would just say take a nap.
Take a nap.
Take a nap.
I have one. If you have any kind of Spanish in your back pocket, please try to use it because the locals, they really appreciate it. Yeah. They speak Catalan, so it's like kind of a dialect of Spanish, but they pick up what you're putting down and appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so where we went after Barcelona was my favorite place that I've ever been.
It was also mine. Greece. The most beautiful place ever.
Yes.
So I would go back 1,000 times.
We will go back 1,000 times.
Yes.
I'm trying to get married there. So
it was very romantic where we had our villa.
So yes. Yeah. So I'll say this, we definitely, it was our first Europe trip, at least mine and Lys's. A couple of the other girls had been to Europe before. I think it was mine and your first Europe trip.
Yeah, that was and that was my big first friend trip too.
So we were gone for almost a month. And Greece we stayed for a whole week. So it was the longest place that we had gone of any of the destinations. And we started in Santorini. So we did Santorini, Mykonos, and Athens, but Santorini, one of our girlfriends was like, basically we had been kind of being frugal, which like you should be because you want to I'd rather spend my money on experiences, or especially we're all there together, we're going to be out doing things, all that, than like a big lavish hotel. Well, so Court, bless her heart, she was like, we are balling out in Santorini. Oh, yeah. So we got this amazing, like I still have videos and I like laugh at them because they're so crazy, but It was on the caldera in Ia, which is the beautiful, the white kind of house cliffs buildings on the edge of the sea. We had this beautiful spa in our room. It was literally a cave room.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It was like a cave suite.
A cave suite.
Yeah.
Our hotel had this beautiful pool. We made friends with the bartender immediately. Still friends with him on Facebook. Love him. Shout out. What's his name again?
I do not remember.
It's a very Greek name.
It's a long name.
It's a very Greek name. Apollo.
Yes, Apollo. Yep.
Apollo. So made friends with Apollo. He was awesome. And made friends with like the girl at the front.
Yeah, the girl at the front. Yeah, we're Instagram friends.
Yes,
I forgot.
she ended up. She told us, love this. She said, "You were my favorite girlfriends of the season."
Oh, I remember that
because they, it's like a very touristy place, and they like rely on the tourism, and we are happy to be relied on because it was amazing. So
remember us because we will be back.
Oh, we're unforgettable.
That's true.
So we flew from Barcelona to Santorini. That was oh my gosh, do you remember my bag? So we hopped on a plane from Barcelona to Santorini, and at this point we had learned our lesson as far as the cab drivers trying to bamboozle you for your money. But so the first thing when we touched down is that we actually did not check bags the whole entire time, but since they were heavy and we got tired of carrying them around, there was some airlines that let you check your bag for free. So in that case, we're like, cool, because we each had a carry-on and our like big bag. Actually, for this Europe trip, I brought a Nike duffel. So that was
me too. I don't know how I fit everything in there. Packing cubes.
Yeah, exactly. Packing cubes. That is always my tip.
Yes.
So brought my Nike duffel, but then I had just like a regular backpack. But of course, none of my clothes in it. So my other tip is if you do check a bag, make sure you have an outfit or two like rolled up in your bag with your makeup, or like things that you're gonna need, toothbrush, whatever, because it is a nightmare, like losing your stuff. And so we touched down. We're exhausted. We got there at night because the first night we stayed at this like one-off hotel that was like, do not drink the water. We're like, oh, okay.
Did say that.
But we found the best slow bakery ever.
I know.
It was so good. So that's where Alyssa and I found our obsession for spanakopita. They
literally the best pastry ever.
Oh my god.
Spinach feta,
flaky phyllo dough. So good. They were like warm and fresh. They had all these yummy fruit tarts. It was so amazing. But so we're waiting for a bag. All the girls get their bags, and I'm just sitting there literally watching this thing spin right round, just like no,
anxiety ridden.
I'm like, oh my god, because Greece is where you want to show out. You want to like you have your best outfits, all that. And finally it came out, so that was like a relief. But if you don't need to check a bag, do not. But yeah, so then we go outside and we catch a cab, and we showed him where we're supposed to go, and he quoted us some price, and I said, nah. I said, I already looked up how far it was, because our mistake too was not looking it up. And I think also because not all of us had our internet. So also if you can afford to get to have service,
get a good plan. Yeah.
Get a good plan while you're there, because it really does help. You don't want to be in a bind.
It's like $10 a day. It's really nothing.
Yeah, budget for it, I'd say for sure. So anyway, so then after we said that, he changed his tune and gave us a fair price. So we get to our little hotel. We went and got some snacks, went to sleep. And then the next morning we got a cab and went to our big, beautiful hotel. It was called La Perla. Beautiful. Cannot recommend them enough, in Santorini and Ia. And we just let the games begin. It was so amazing. Every morning there's a lot of stray kitties in Greece.
There are.
So we had the most cute little kittens coming up to our door every morning.
I know.
And then we'd wake up and they have Greek continental breakfast, but it was amazing.
Yeah. So many different things. You just fill out a sheet of what you want and they bring it.
Oh yeah. So we had just amazing breakfast every morning. Every night we'd be in the spa. And then we went and did ATVs was I think one of the first big things we wanted to do. Yeah. And it was so much fun, but
it turned out a disaster.
Turned out to be a disaster for me.
It was really fun because
for me.
Yeah, for Chelsea it was unfortunate news, but it was really fun because that's how we got around the island. Mm-hmm. The island, right? Yeah, I mean it's like all mountainous, like we literally rode those. We rode them to the beach, like to get more pastries, and then poor Chelsea.
So
you could tell it.
So basically, so we go to, it actually ended up, everything happens for a reason. As we know, I believe in the universe, but it was so fucked for a moment. So basically, we get a ride in this van to our ATV place, and the driver, I'm not going to say his name, but it's a very Greek name. I sat in the front seat, and I, as we know, chatty Cathy. So I start, like, you know, I'm just talking, the girls are in the back, whatever. But we get to the ATV place, and they're teaching us phrases in Greek, which later found out were not good ones. And then they teach us how to ride these ATVs. Well, I got fucked, of course, because, and why couldn't you have just gotten this? So Liz is left-handed.
Got the shit out of the stick.
Liz is left-handed. You should have just switched me now that I think about it, damn you. But
I thought yours just didn't work all the way.
No, it was so okay. So the ATV that I got, so all the rest of them were right-handed, and he taught us how to work these things the right-handed way. So literally we're all in a line. He took these cute pictures. They're like some of my favorite pictures ever. We're all in like our helmets.
Before the disaster.
We're all booty, like just like so much fun. And then he's like, all right, everybody go. All my girls take off up this hill, and I'm sitting there like, like just like spinning my wheels, like not going anywhere. Like it's not even turning on. And I start freaking out. And he comes back down. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, it's not working. And he's like, oh, you have a left-handed one. And I'm like, great. And so I started freaking out because we're in this like totally foreign country. Like we were about to be, come on the way home. Do you remember? It's literally on the edge of,
yeah.
It's a mountain. Like you're going on a mountain. It gets windy. Luckily, like during the day, it wasn't that windy, but still like we're in a foreign country, don't know what we're doing. And you just taught me for 30 minutes how to do something. And I have to, in my brain, do it the opposite way. And so he came down and he's like, oh, like you do it this way. But so finally get me started. I go up the hill, and then I think it stopped again or something, and I started crying. And he comes and like hops on the back of my ATV and like shows me how to do it. It was really sweet. Took us to go get gas. And then I'll never forget this. Do you remember the boys at the gas station? So in Greece and like actually some other states, they fill up your gas tank for you. Like you pull up and it's a service. They do it for you. So we pull up, and these two Greek boys were like, ooh, like filled up my gas tank and handed me a chocolate-filled croissant. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do remember that.
Handed me a chocolate-filled croissant. So I was like laughing because I was like, ooh la la, like thank you. And then I knew our ATV guy. We'll call him his real name. What's a good Greek name?
What can't we call him his real name? He must not be named.
So anyway, but so he, I could tell he was jealous, but I was like, bet. So anyway, before we took off, I told the girl, we went somewhere, and then like we stopped. They have Red Beach, Black Beach. They have all these different beaches in Santorini. So we had stopped at one spot, and I said, I like opened up this croissant. I gave Alyssa a bite, gave like Court a bite, and I go to give Marissa a bite. This bitch turns it sideways and ate all of the chocolate out of the middle. And so the rest was just bread. And I remember we were like, what is wrong with you?
She's like, whatever.
Freaking biatch.
It was good.
But no, it was funny. But so then we went to this red sand beach. A lot of the beaches in these places are topless.
Yeah.
But I think we kept it under wraps. But still, it was just like nice to lay out. But so I am a very like number oriented person. And I remembered my license plate. It was like, I think it was like 555 or something. It's just like I remembered it said BK, something like that. So anyway, we go back into town and we pull up. So a lot of the guys that work at all these resorts and stuff were there, and they're like, you're staying at La Perla. Like they knew where we were staying, which I also was kind of like
suspect.
And because it's a really nice place, we're young girls. So, but I'm like, what, like who wants to know kind of thing. So came up and said that. And then this guy from our hotel came up, and I'm like, where should we park these? Because the ATV companies, they will come pick up your ATVs for you, like all that thing. It's like a full service deal. So we park these ATVs at the top of this parking lot, and it was me and you or me and somebody, but Court and somebody came afterwards. But so the guy from the hotel parked my ATV at the top of this lot. I was on the back of the ATV, but he parked it. So we walk out, we go back to our hotel, and then Court parked like 5 minutes later. So the ATV was completely fine. Nothing was wrong with it. But where it was parked, it was close enough to, and it was like on the top of a lot that like sloped downhill. So then Court had parked her thing, came back to the hotel, and then we're like, cool, we're just gonna
in the spa.
We're in the spa drinking, just like getting down, and our hotel phone rings, and we're like, what?
Yeah.
Like who's this? they say, you guys need to come up here. One of your ATVs rolled down the parking lot and broke off the mirrors. The axle was twisted.
They said they hit a car.
It hit a car.
Yeah.
And I just had this gut feeling, and I was like, no fucking way.
I remember answering the phone thinking like, oh, God, I hope it's not mine.
And it was like, it was going to be I know, you guys are assholes. So, like.
I never would hope that, but.
So, we go upstairs. And the girl at the front, Rena, she was really sweet. The slug of the owner of the ATV place, not the guy that came. So we'll just say his name. His name's Costas. So the guy who came and like taken us everywhere, his name was Costas. But the guy who owned the ATV place was this big, like, I imagine Roz from Monsters Inc., but a man. You know, like he was like, what do you expect me to do? This is my business, you know, like he was, and I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, this thing was parked at the top. So I'm freaking out, right? I'm getting so upset because he's like, this is my business. What do you expect me to do? You know, blah, blah, blah. I don't know whose accent that is, but I can't do a Greek one right now. But basically he wanted me to pay like, he was trying to say something crazy at first, but then finally, it was so weird. I gave the phone, cause I was freaking out. I started crying. I gave the phone back to Rena and she said, how do you know that? And I was like, what? And then she gave me the phone and it was Costas and he was like, so basically he had said to her, is the blonde one crying? And she's like, how do you know that? You know, because so that's why I almost felt like it was set up.
Yeah. Because
how, like, I didn't, you know, it's not like I did anything wrong. Like it was just the luck of the draw. But anyway, so he gets on the phone with me and he says, how about this? He's like, if you pay him, he wanted like $150, which not a big deal, but at the end of the day, like we had just traveled for a month.
Yeah,
and so I didn't want to spend $150 on that. I wanted to spend it on souvenirs for my friends and family or whatever. But so he goes, if you pay him, because he's gonna need that money because he had all of our IDs. Mm-hmm. He's like, what was your man's name?
I don't know. Don't call him my man.
Alyssa had a man.
He loved me.
He loved Alyssa. And Alyssa, it was so funny watching her squirm. But so he was cute. But anyway, his name was like John or something.
I mean, he tried to put me in his little smart car for too.
Oh yeah.
So explain that.
So Liz. Yeah. So he said, we will pick you up and we will take you out tonight for like the best night you've ever had, kind of thing. And so
trade off.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool, but
so yeah, because they came and they looked at the ATV. It was pretty messed up. They're like, don't worry, we'll take care of it. And they came back. We all got dressed up. They took us to this crazy, super fun bar in Fira that it was called Two Brothers. It was crazy. They played like all the best music. They're throwing napkins everywhere. There's hookah.
Yeah, it was crowded.
It was crowded. A lot of people. It was so much fun. So we had like the best night, and then they took us up to the highest point in Santorini. Smoked some trash weed. And it was not good, but it was the thought that counted. And then basically he like dropped us off because it was our last night there. And that's why it also was like so emotional because it was our last night there. I was like, no, like this was such a great trip. And then, so he dropped us off. He had like, I think he kissed me at the end of the night and dropped us off. And then the next day he was off work, but we had to go into the office and I had to pay that slug guy. And I got our IDs. I was just like, meh. So then we go, because we were taking a ferry from Santorini to Mykonos, and it was so funny. So I think we were a little hungover too, but we were like, this was so terrible. Court, we went to go to the bathroom. Court was walking up the stairs, tripped, smashed her phone on the what do you call it, like concrete step. So her phone was shattered. Then we're all waiting there, like.
I just had a nice mental image of that after you said she cracked her phone. And I
was walking with her.
Hungover.
Yeah, we were just hungover, sitting there, got a coffee, but we were waiting for the ferry to come. We walk outside, and I'll never forget this. It was so crazy. We walk outside because the ferry started to pull up, and there was Costas with his little dog, and he had a card for me and a pack of Werther's butterscotch originals. It's a really sweet parting gift. But it was so romantic. Like it was so. I remember Court was like, "This always happens to Chels" or something like that. She was
so bitter.
She was bitter, but it was. But I gave her a Werther, so she felt a little sweeter. But no. So it was really sweet, and then like it was kind of just like a fairy tale, kind of like, oh my gosh, so nice. And then we went to Mykonos. Mykonos, we missed
by like a week.
So we missed the party, like summer pool party season, by a straight up week. Like our friends that we had met in Barcelona were there the week before, and they were at like these beach parties, all that stuff. We got there, it was so windy. We had this really nice beachfront room.
It was still really nice. Yeah, our room was amazing. It was literally like right on the beach, but unfortunately the pool parties had commenced.
Not they were done. They were
uncommenced.
Yeah, I don't know.
They were just not there.
So,
tumbleweeds.
Yeah, exactly. There was nothing going on. But then one night we like walked over the beach to go to this restaurant. And I'll never forget this. So I like seafood. Liz isn't really a big seafood fan at all, but me and Courtney do. And so I ordered this shrimp pasta. When you order seafood in Greece, expect it to have a head and a face and eyes. So
slightly breathing.
And then the family was sitting there. So like the family that owned the place, like they came and bring us our food over and they're like watching us. They're like, oh, go. And I'm like, you guys, I cannot eat this. There's like 6 full shrimps with like legs and eyes and faces like staring at me. And I could barely even eat it. But you have to just, this is so good. But so, yeah, it was.
Did you actually eat all of it?
No, I ate like a couple bites. It was pasta. So I just ate the pasta part. But so yeah, so there's a tip. Make sure if you don't like fish heads, don't get it in there. Don't order it. And then so did that. But one thing that we became obsessed with everywhere we went was Greek salads. I still make those weekly.
I'm pretty sure we ate Greek salads every day for the next like 3 months when we came back. And I got a Greek salad at every meal. Right. It is so delicious. All good. I need is a Greek salad and spanakopita.
Oh my god.
And some sangria.
Exactly. But so the drink of Greece, actually. So today we are actually drinking, it's called a Santorini Sunrise. As always, check the Instagram for the recipe. It's a really nice, refreshing grapefruit, honey, and we made ours with vodka, but traditionally it's made with ouzo, which is the Greek beverage, like the Greek spirit.
And didn't we get some of that?
We did. So we got little souvenirs of it, and also we tried it. It's actually a
I still have one.
I do too. Yes. I didn't drink it because it actually is like a kind of a black licorice-y tasting liquor. So not really my favorite, but some people love it. I'm sure, if you're Greek, maybe you have a palate for it.
Yeah.
But so yeah, you can make it either way, but it's so great and refreshing with vodka.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. So and then like for the Greek salad, oh my god, so amazing. Like feta, Kalamata olives, cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, red onions. Yeah, delicious, so good. We partied there as well. We went to a couple different.
Honestly, I had a lot of fun when we went out with Kostas in that area because it was really crowded, but I think Mykonos was my favorite. I forget what bar it was we went to.
I don't remember either.
It was crowded because the party scene.
It was party season was over. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean there was still a fair amount of people, but I feel like I wanted to be out all night.
Yeah, it was still a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun.
It was windy and cold.
Yeah, so definitely if you are gonna go, like there's some places you can go in the off season and it's better, but if you are looking for that party atmosphere and just the warmth, I would say go a little bit. So we went the very first week of October is when we went. So, because we started our Europe trip like mid-September. But yeah, I'd say either go like September-ish because it's still like pool parties are fully open. It'll be a little bit warmer. But yeah, so Mykonos was great. We were there, I think 3 days.
Yeah, Greece was our longest amount
stint.
Of time.
Yes.
Yeah, it was more relaxing.
Yeah, it was more relaxing. So we did that. And then we ended up in Athens. And then to round out the love story, Kostas literally... So we started like after he showed up at the ferry dock, we had been messaging the whole time, and then I get to Athens and he literally like got work off, flew to Athens, which is where he was from, but hadn't been back in like a long time. And with the girls' permission, the girls had all met him and approved and stuff, he took me on the most amazing adventure all around Athens. We went to the bar was called something A or something. Like it was one of the tallest bars on top of a hotel. You could see the Pantheon.
Is that where we went? The 4 of us went somewhere.
So he came with us. We did that, and then and then so he took me around and went and showed me all these different monuments. Just had like a really fun like romantic night, and then brought me home, and then the next day we were off.
Yeah.
The saga continues, but not in his favor. But it was really fun. It was kind of like a fairy tale. And yeah, so we had such a great Greek trip. And then after that, we went back to Amsterdam for a day and then flew home. But like, honestly, it was a dream trip. It was amazing.
It was amazing. If I could add one travel trip though, is maybe do less go less places in that amount of time. Because I feel like we went to a lot of places, which was fun, but we were like, go, go, go the whole time. Like,
Right.
you know, when we got to Amsterdam, we went to a coffee shop first, had some coffee, wink, wink, and then passed out for like 5 hours. But
we were jet lagged.
Yeah, but jet lagged. So with Greece, we were able to really enjoy it and go multiple places because we were more relaxed, where everything else was like, okay, let's plan from start to finish where we're going to go, sightseeing, different places. So I think I would go less places next time, but it still was an amazing trip.
Right. No, I think that's a good tip. And I kind of like learned that as well. Even when Riss and I went to Thailand and Bali, we had more time in each place, which was great. And then when we just went to London, we spent 7 days in London, which that's the longest. Well, so Greece was like 6 days, honestly. And then, but like we were in London for 7 days, and then I went to Ireland and Scotland for a week, and then I came back and did London too. Yeah. And like, I still feel like any place you go, you could always spend more time there. Yeah. So yeah, it's a great tip it's one thing you want to like knock all these things out. Like our first Europe trip, you can't blame us for just wanting to see everything we could see. But once you become like a seasoned traveler, you're like, no, I'd like to spend more time here, be a little more relaxed, not be, packing and unpacking every other day.
Yeah. And make sure you get to see everything in case you never get to go back. You wouldn't want to miss like one of the top things that you wanted to do because of, you never know if something happened on your trip where that happened to you. I
had several.
Exactly. Yeah. So you want to plan for that accordingly in case something comes up with traveling and you can't make it to a place you wanted to go. So just a lot for extra time.
So I missed. So that happened to me with in Rome actually. I can't believe myself, but I did not go see the Colosseum. Because I saved it I did all the other cool things I wanted to do. I mean, obviously I could go back to Rome anytime. Rome is amazing, the eternal city. But the final night I ended up having a ball, staying out all night. And then my plan was to wake up, go to the Colosseum, just get a couple quick pics and then go to the airport. I was dying 1,000 deaths. I was like, oh my God, I could barely even go like home, shower, get ready and like get back to the airport. So I missed the Colosseum, so I'll have to go back there. But once again, there's tons of other places in Italy I need to go. So that's okay. Budapest, since our flight was delayed a whole day, I missed out on doing the thermal baths. So always give yourself, that's a great tip. And I always now try to give myself one extra day than what I think I'm going to need because sometimes you might just want to even relax or do less or say less.
You might be hungover. You want to just chill.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's great. So, so speaking of my little love story, we're going to transition now into the dating, the juicy dating portion. So listen, since we've been best friends for so long, we have seen it all, heard it all, and it's not always pretty. Yeah. It's not always pretty. So Liz, why don't you tell me a couple of your turn off deal breakers that you've experienced that boys, you need to take note and we need to stop this.
Okay. Yeah, there's quite a few. I think the first one we can start with, because anyone would appreciate this, is be a better texter. Don't be a shitty texter. Especially when you are first getting to know someone. Why are you taking the time out of your day to DM me or stop me in the streets or somewhere or reach out to me and exchange info and then you're going to half-ass text me?
Right.
Do you even like me? What is this for? So I'm confused now. What do you want? I feel like, has that happened to you?
So actually this week, I had somebody come up to me, wrote their number, Snapchat and Instagram. They wanted to make sure I was aware of where to reach them. Snapchat and Instagram. And then I so I waited, a day, not to be like weird, but just I'm like, okay, let's think about this. Go text this person. It's a landline. Bro, like, don't give me your landline. And
also, don't give me your Snapchat, to be honest.
We're not going to snap.
No,
this is not going to be what's happening. That's the fuckboy, like, central is Snapchat. And then, so anyway, but though I messaged him, and I was like, oh, hey, like, the number didn't work. He's like, oh, it's my landline.
Who has a landline?
So he's foreign is what I came. He was beautiful. I was like, oh my God. Like when I saw him, actually, I was like, wow, this is like a Greek god. Like he was gorgeous, like olive skin, light eyes.
This, here?
It was, well, yeah, I was working the other day. And so, but anyway, but also so I was like, hey, like, and he's like, hey.
Yeah. Hey? What am I supposed to do with that?
What? So I like, once again, though, I was like, felt for him a little bit because I'm like, okay, I feel like you are foreign, so maybe you don't know, but I'm not going to carry this team. If you're gonna put out the, you know, the play, then let's like, you gotta take it all the way.
Run the play.
Because like I'm about to quarterback that shit and back it up, and we're not gonna make it to the end zone.
No. But I understand if people you'd rather have a conversation over the phone or in person. I understand that. My thumbs get sore. I got chunky little thumbs. Like sometimes I don't like to text. My hands hurt.
You're chunky dunker today. What's up with the chunky?
Well, if I didn't have nails on, you wouldn't know this was a man.
Stop it.
Hand. But okay, you know, sometimes your hands, like, you don't want to text. That's fine.
We love to voice. Me and Liz, we love to do voice notes.
Yeah, voice note is good. We can do that. But please, don't say hey to me, or hey, what's up?
Dude,
hey, what's up? Good.
Never send me one word.
If what?
One word is for the birds, bitch. Like,
what was the point of texting me?
Yeah.
Do you want to get to know me? Is this?
Yeah. Do you want to be here? Yeah. What is this?
Yeah.
So definitely
very minimal effort.
Be a good texter, or at least like I know people are like phone averse nowadays, but if I'm actually interested in you and you're interested in me, I'm down for a phone call.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, a phone call.
Show your interest.
Show your interest. Be verbal. Be communicative. So that's, I think that's a great one. Mm-hmm.
That was a great one. My next one is, man, this one just gets me. Don't do it. Do you ever see guys who on social media, or they send it to you, like take pictures or like selfies or selfie videos of like sexy eyes, pursed lips, like kind of like
do it for the camera.
Weirdness. Is that weird? Did you feel uncomfortable? Because I'm uncomfortable when I watch it. If you send it to me, I'm uncomfortable. If I watch it on your Instagram, I'm uncomfortable. Oh. I don't know, but definitely don't send it to me. I met a guy once. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we do with this?
Miss me with that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's awkward for every party involved watching it. In my opinion. Whoa.
It is.
I met someone one time. Met him on Tinder, actually. We only met him one time. And
because of these antics.
Yes. That's what it was. He sent me a personalized text video, angled down like this. Will the guys do that with like the chin angle, which is weird? And he was like,
ew.
With like a lip lick. And what do you want me to do with this video?
I'm grossed out even.
What am I supposed to say to it? I don't know, but I don't like it. Don't do it. Don't send it to me.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable.
Maybe someone likes it.
I'm uncomfortable hearing about it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's also like, I don't know, the whole like I recently got a TikTok, and so I've been watching, and there's some guys like I'm like okay, but then some I'm like ew, like it's kind of like dirty. I don't know. It feels dirty.
It's not sexy.
It feels dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Because I'm not sure what you're conveying to me with this.
It's off-putting because it's almost
very off-putting.
It's like a taboo. Like I feel like we know not to do it. It's just like common sense, but to see someone else do it, it is uncomfortable. Like, why are you doing this?
It's the equivalent to when girls do the duck lip, I would say.
Or when they lip sync to songs. Oh, there we go.
The song lip syncer.
It's awkward. Let's not post that.
You know what? I just know quite a few people that do it often. And
ask me if they do it every day.
I said it's often. Too often. Yeah, it's too often. And again, I don't know. Maybe if, you know what, post what you want on your, in that case, if you want to lip sync to your people's, that's okay. But don't send me a personalized one.
Yeah. It didn't really hit where it was supposed to, which was home.
Nope. Yeah, it went right over my head, right through me.
Exactly.
It didn't stick.
Okay.
So that's a no.
So quit pursing your lips, and sending weird pics.
Yeah.
So speaking of, sending weird things.
Oh, okay. I know where you're going with this one. Okay. Rule number 1. Dick pics are unsolicited by any means.
I've never said, please send me a picture of
your
dick.
No, I never have. And maybe it's okay if you're man's, but if you're not man's,
if you're man's, like you're like in there, you're like, okay, this, but also like I could, no,
but if you're not even close to man's, and more so, I think if you're gonna send me one and you're man's, it could be a joke. Is it a joke?
I mean, if you're man's, it's different, but if you're like just talking or you just started talking, I think it's weird. And also, don't ask me for pictures either. If I wanted to send you a picture, I would. I probably am not going to.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't send me pictures. If we're just talking, but yes. So, I do have a dick pic story. It's a dick video, unfortunately. Sorry.
A dick vid.
Yeah, dick vid. Sorry, mom and dad. I know they're gonna watch this one. And sorry for the guy who I'm talking about. We're not laughing at you.
We don't have to.
We're laughing with you.
We don't have to name the guilty, but
we don't have to name him. But it was this guy who many moons ago, he was a member at the gym I worked at, and I guess I don't know, we just would talk at work, and we went on a date. We only went on one date. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't going anywhere.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was just whatever. And I'm pretty sure this was afterwards, but I had him on Snapchat, and I'll never forget this. This is when we lived together in San Diego, and I remember walking to my car, and I get a snap video.
Oh my God.
And then immediately after I get the snap video, I get a snap text that says, "Oh my gosh, please don't open that. I'm so sorry. Please don't open that." So naturally, I'm going to open it. Like, why would I get this video
and not...
You can't
unsend that.
Yeah, no, you can't. So I watch it, and it's this man's just stripped down, fully just naked as ever, in his, like, wardrobe mirror, like a closet, like an opened closet with this mirror, just, like, helicopter swanging his wang around with this, like, and, like, I could see his phone recording through the mirror, so he's just, like, just swinging it around.
Was it a fast helicopter? Or?
Oh my God, I don't even remember. But I was dying of laughter. I was dying, especially because he already knew. He knew at that moment. He fucked up. He shouldn't have sent it, but he sent it, and I was just like, "What the hell is this? What is this?"
Oh
I didn't ask for it. It's also a video.
You don't accidentally do that.
You don't accidentally swang the wang.
Nope.
Helicopter that thing in the mirror to me. And then he saw that I opened it, and so I messaged back, and I was like, "Oops, I didn't see the text. I saw the video first." And he was like, "Oh my gosh, I knew you were gonna see it. Like, I'm so sorry. I meant to send it to my friend. It was just a joke."
Ew.
I'm thinking, like, what friend are you
Yeah.
sending that to, first of all? Second of all, I don't know, girl or guy. My assumption was, like, that was a weird boy man thing to do. Like, I don't know.
Okay, that's an extreme. Hopefully, I'm sure it's happened before, but I think that's a very rare.
It was very rare because usually it's like a picture, and you're like, "Whoa, back it up." That one, I was like, "Whoa, don't swing that thing at me any farther." So
that's great. And to wrap it up, which you should always do, everyone. But basically, so I had this. This is funny. So this is something I want to address. Might have to be in another episode. But men have no loyalty to their friends' exes. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, okay, this one guy I dated from back home, one of his friends when we were dating, like, would always, like, tell him, "Oh, like, you know, Chelsea's, like, so hot, she's so pretty, whatever." But we broke up, and we're still, like, close, good friends. Like, I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he came to visit, right?
This ex of mine, like, great guy, we're still really good friends. But so his friends, when we were dating, would always, like, say stuff to him. Anyway, so then about a year ago, I posted something and was just kind of like, it was not about anything sexual at all, which I don't often post stuff like that anyway. Yeah. But I said something like, "Oh, you know, people ask God to give them a cake, and then he gives them the flour, eggs, blah, 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 blah." And then they sit there wondering what happened. And it's like, I said, you can't teach want to, you have to want to, which is one of my favorite things that I always say, because it's so true. And he responded, this kid, and he always will respond to my selfies with, like, heart eyes or, like, things like that. But he responded and said, "I want it bad." And I was like, "Oh, me too." Like, literally, I put "me too" with the hands out, like this, because I was like, my dreams and my goals. This was a dream and a goalpost.
Picking up what I'm putting down.
He sends me a picture of his freaking dick. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Literally, he's holding his dick. He has dirty fingernails, and you can see the mold on the bottom of his toilet. You can see I'm not even lying. You can see the mold on the bottom of his toilet. And I'm like, oh my God. I literally told my ex, and by the time I told my ex, he said something to him and he deleted the messages. Okay. But he straight up sent me his wiener. And I posted
Don't send it.
Don't send me your wiener.
Send it.
I dated your friend for over a year. Why are you going to send me your dick? Like, that's so crazy. And clean your fingernails and your toilet. Like, that's also...
backdrop.
But here's a couple tips. Don't send your dick and clean your shit up. Like... Oh my God.
I don't know.
So yeah, so that was a traumatic experience, but also, so here's the thing you should know about your dick pics. It doesn't turn us on, it makes us laugh.
Yeah, it's laughable. It is very laughable.
So, to end it on a positive note, please go out and see as much of the world as you can. Take your time and make sure you're not rushing through your adventures or life. And don't purse your lips and don't send your dick.
I couldn't have said it better.
Thank you so much for being here and being my best
Cheers.
friend for 22 years.
That's
many,
right.
many
Cheers
more.
to that.
And
Love
thank you guys. Love you. Thank you for tuning in to Up to Date. We'll see you next time. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in on our 10th episode of Up to Date. Just so everybody knows, we have 9 previous episodes of amazing content, and we're bringing you fresh content every single week. So please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And as always, stay tuned to stay up to date.